Have you ever gone to the Rogue Fitness website and daydreamed about which bar, which plates, what rack you would want if price was not an object? I started planning my dream garage gym about 15 years ago, and I never imagined that I would have a spare $10,000 that I thought I would need to build it. Well, last year, I ended up with about $5,000 that I could spend on whatever I wanted, and I decided I was going to try and build my ultimate dream garage gym. I always thought the rack that I would need for the kind of weights I wanted to lift would be too big and too bulky to fit in my garage and way too expensive. A lot of the racks that I had looked at in the past were between $2,000 and $5,000. The Rogue Monster folding wall rack has all the benefits of a true monster rack with the big gauge steel, the big holes in the rack. Everything was exactly like I wanted, and I was able to get mine with the extra beefy J cups for $950. The comparable full-size racks that I had looked at before were $2,000 to $5,000. And this made me think that my dream garage gym might be possible. My first order from the Rogue website was my rack and the bar. Picking my bar was easy. I had always wanted the Rogue Ohio bar. I've followed this channel. It's called Garage Home Gyms. The guy that does the channel, his name is Coop. He is the GOAT of garage home gyms and gym equipment. And I love his channel. I watch all his reviews. And before I ever even thought I was going to be able to actually have my own garage gym, I used to watch Coop explaining which equipment would be best, and I would daydream, oh, that's the bar I want. That's the rack I want. So I got the bare steel version of the Ohio bar. It was $290. Getting this bar in my hand for the first time was amazing. It is so much better than just a cheap commercial gym bar. The knurling on it feels rougher than you might be used to if you work out in a commercial gym. And it's just very, very satisfying to use it. And it's just an all-around great bar. The one place that I had to splurge was the weights. When I started out looking for what kind of weights I wanted to buy, I knew I did not want bumper plates. That's just not my thing. I am not a bumper plate kind of guy. I looked at like Craigslist and eBay, and I looked at the option of getting used plates, but the cost for used plates is still expensive. I started thinking, if I'm going to make that big of an investment in my weights, I might as well get the plates that I really want. The weights that reminded me of the first gym that I ever joined back in 1986. I got the Rogue Deep Dish plates. Every time I look at these plates, I get a happy feeling inside. When I grab one of these plates by that big lip and I slide it onto the bar, it makes the most satisfying buzzing metal sound. It is just hard to describe the level of satisfaction that it gives me. Most people out there won't need as many 45-pound plates as I did. I did need 8 of these 45-pound plates so that I could do my 405 max attempt in my garage. If you want to see the video, it is here. So I bought 425 pounds of weights, and it cost me through Rogue $1,098. The bench is where I had to go cheap. I really wanted this Rogue adjustable bench 3.0. It's $695, but I had to go with the Rogue utility bench. It's only $210. It is a great quality bench, and it's a great value. After I built my rack, I realized that I had to have a place to store my weights. And I decided to stick with the Rogue theme, and I got this Rogue horizontal plate rack. It was $190. The last thing I got was the Rogue Monster band pegs. This is a 4-pack that I got for $55, and I got a couple of their bands, which cost about $35 each. This allows me to do assisted chins on my rack, which is really cool, so I don't need a lat pull-down setup. If you add in taxes and shipping and handling, and I got a couple other little things like the OSO collars and the cleaning kit for my bar to keep it rust-free, it all comes to $3,455.91. Now came the flooring. I quickly found in my research I wanted horse stall mats. You can buy expensive garage gym flooring, and it is crazy how expensive this stuff is. You can buy big rolls of it that you secure to the ground and end up paying 4 times as much as I spent on these horse stall mats. At first, my plan was just to cover half my garage and still park a car on the other side. So I got 6 mats. They were $50 each. That set me back $300. As I started working on my garage more and more, I eventually broke down and just covered the entire floor with mats, which I had a total of 12 mats to cover my garage, which cost $600. I love this flooring. It is perfect. I do not regret the expense at all. I feel like I can drop a really heavy barbell on the floor and it's not going to damage my concrete or my plates. If you go with horse stall mats, be aware that they will smell like chemicals for the first few months, but that does go away over time. They're also really heavy. A single mat is 94 pounds. Some people will tape their mats together to keep them from moving, but I found that they really move very little over time, and occasionally I have to shimmy them back into place, but it is not a problem. I just like the clean look they have without having tape on them or anything securing them together. The other part of my garage gym build was cleaning my garage. This is the part that took the longest amount of time. I had to get everything from my garage consolidated onto one wall, and this meant a massive garage cleanup project. All right, this is the next evolution of the garage. We had to move everything off the back wall so I could set up my little workbench. That's where the workbench and the refrigerator are gonna go. This is where my new Rogue Fitness garage gym is gonna go. And this stuff back here is gonna go on an overhead rack that I'm gonna install here the next few days. I took my time, and over 6 months, I went through every single thing in my garage. I took many trips to Goodwill, and I finally ended up with this, which I am extremely proud of. And it was definitely worth all the effort. I painted the wall that my rack was going to go on a gray-blue color. I pimped the air vents by spray painting them black. I got the rack installed. Here's a video of the installation process for my rack. If you want to watch the step-by-step installation guide, including tips on how to avoid the mistake that I made, check it out here. I knew from the start that my dream garage was going to have the biggest possible mirrors. I chose 5 foot by 3 foot mirrors. Here's a video of how I installed my mirrors. If you want to use the same kind of process in your garage gym, you can check it out here. The last step to my dream garage was lighting. My goal was to set it up so I could make the whole garage dark and have one overhead light that was bright, and that would give me the shadows to give you that kind of heightened effect in the mirror. I also wanted to be able to just make the entire garage bright. The way I did it is I installed these simple light fixtures and I put them in the locations that I felt would give me the best overhead lighting setup. It would work for progress pics as well as doing reps close to the mirror. I used these smart bulbs by Philips. This way I could change the brightness and the color using my smart speaker. And here's a video of how I installed and set up these lights. Turn on garage light.
Okay.
For a total breakdown of what the gym costs, for mirrors it was around $250, lighting $200, flooring $600, the Rogue equipment $3,450, which brings it to a total of $4,500. That's including tax, shipping, everything out the door. So for $4,500, I was able to build my dream Rogue garage gym. I absolutely love it. What do you think? Do you think it was worth the money?